Welcome back to Statistics on Catalyst University. My name is Kevin Tokoph, and in this video I'm going to show you how to conduct a paired or dependent t-test in Excel. So again, I'll preface this by saying that, again, I use the Mac version of this. The Windows version will differ ever so slightly, but it's basically the same. And then if you have not already downloaded the Data Analysis Tool Pack, either download it or go to the video, which I have linked in the description, and watch how to actually download that data analysis tool pack, because you will need it for everything we do here. Alright, so in this video, like I said, I'm going to show you how to do a dependent or paired t-test. Now, unlike the independent t-test, where we had two possible circumstances, either assuming equal variances or assuming unequal variances, there's only one paired t-test that we have to worry about. So this is actually fairly simple. Wherever I start, I'm going to go click on Data. It should be up here at the top somewhere. And then I'm going to click on Data Analysis, assuming I have that tool pack installed. You can see there's only one t-test that's for paired, so that's obviously the one I'm going to click on. So paired to sample for means, click on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to put my first variable range. I'm going to drag 13 down to 9. Get rid of this. My second variable range, let me drag 5 down to 10. Again, I explained this in the previous video, but our hypothesized mean difference, unless you have some other reason not to put 0, you're just going to put 0. This is basically your null hypothesis. And generally speaking, the null hypothesis says, for the most part, that there's no difference between groups. So the null hypothesis here would say the before group, there's no difference between that and the after group. No difference. And no difference means a 0 difference. There's no difference, they're the same. So I put a 0 here. Here's my confidence level, or the alpha. This implies a confidence level of 95%. So that's generally what most people use, so you'll just keep this alpha value of 0.05 there unless you have reason to do otherwise. Let me select a good output range. So this is where I want the data to start appearing, so why don't I just do right there. And then I just hit OK. And there is my complete paired t-test analysis. Now again, some of the important things here that you might want to report if you're doing this in some kind of article or paper. Again, the mean and the variance. Now you would not directly report the variance, but you could calculate the standard deviation from these by taking the square root. So the standard deviation of this first one, I would just say, is going to be a little bit over 4, because the square root of 16 is 4. But you can calculate those because we would report the mean plus or minus the standard deviation of each group. Notice also, while this isn't something you would necessarily report, notice in paired t-tests you have the same number of values in the first group as the second. That is a requirement. If you had an extra value right here and tried to do a dependent t-test, it would not work. You have to have the same number of values. So if you run a dependent t-test and one of the groups has one more value or just a different number of values than the other, that will cause an error when you do the t-test. And if you get an error, that's one thing you need to check to make sure you didn't actually accidentally delete some value or you made a mistake somewhere. Anyways, another important thing, here's our p-value for our one-tailed test. Here's our p-value for our two-tailed test. Generally speaking, our p-value for the two-tailed test is the more conservative p-value. And no one is ever going to say you're wrong or you can't use the two-tailed one. Usually they say, when in doubt, use the two-tailed. You only use the one-tailed under certain circumstances, and that's when you know with pretty much 100% certainty, or you're expecting one of these groups to be bigger than the other. Okay, so for example, if I expected the before group to be larger than the after group based on available data and information that I knew, if I expected that, then I would probably go with the one-tailed p-value, assuming that that group before actually was higher. Okay. And then some people might actually report the t-statistic. That's just a preference, but you at the very least have to report the mean plus or minus standard deviation, p-values, and the confidence level, which in this case was 95%. All right, so there's not much more to the dependent t-test. The independent is the more complicated one, where if you want to be rigorously correct, you also have to run an f-test. This one, there is just one t-test for paired, and that's it. So, hopefully this helped. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for future videos and notifications. Thank you.